It's WrestleMania season, baby! The pomp, the pageantry, the nouns. When WWE uses all its pocket money they save on having the same boring-ass stage for every boring-ass pay-per-view by splurging on a very big, very silly structure that humbles you with its sheer Ozymandian hubris, that scrapes the underbelly of God, that squats on the city skyline like Big Show in a sumo nappy. Genuinely, if you're in attendance and you're not afraid that some part of the Mania set will collapse and kill everyone, then they're not doing it right, which is not to say there haven't been some fairly bad stages over the years. For the first 16 WrestleManias, it didn't really do anything special. Someone made a mistake at Mania 18 by leaving the goddamn scaffolding up. Mania 22's was a weird fishnet thing. Why is it like that? WrestleMania 35's was just a case of Vince inviting you around to show off how big his telly was. And oh god, it's like they didn't even really try for WrestleMania 36. I mean, talk about basic. Jeez, WWE. Jeez. I'm Adam, hailing from partsFUNknown, and here are the 10 greatest WrestleMania stages ever built. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, by the way. Really helps us out. Just click that subscribe button and turn on notifications if you want to. It helps us. And thank you. Bye. Number 10, WrestleMania 29, aka the bridge one. Deeply upsetting when a really bad Mania makes it onto a positive top 10 list, but here we are. It's a giant bridge, and I respect giant bridges. Call me a lad of basic sensibilities, but Adam loves a towering structure, and this Mania's design is full of them. From the scale model of the Brooklyn Bridge that looks friggin' amazing during Undertaker's entrance, to the ring canopy decked out like the New York skyline with a giant gift shop Statue of Liberty perched on top. The bridge itself is a little featureless for something so big, which is why this set ranked a little low. Also, it's worth mentioning that this is a pig dick toilet WrestleMania. 8 matches, and 3 of them were Chris Jericho versus Fandango, Mark Henry versus Ryback, and Del Rio versus Swagger. Oof. But hey, at least while you were bored, they gave you something to look at. Number 9, WrestleMania 27, aka the one with the big spider, and now you'll never be able to unsee it. You can call this Mania the Wild Wild West WrestleMania because it features a giant spider, is centered almost entirely around a very charismatic movie star, and is otherwise a gigantic waste of time and money. A lot of people, myself included, rank this as one of the top 3 worst Manias of all time. Miz vs Cena restart main event, Snooki, Lawler vs Cole, somebody stop me. It's dreadful, dreadful stuff, but damn it if that stage isn't a really clean, eye-catching design. The gigantic WrestleMania curve lettering is legitimately awesome, and the sense of curve and slightly warped perspective created by the spider legs with their own LED lights pressed up against that huge screen creates some really great visuals throughout the night. Also, the cube! The cube! Herald the cube! You know, that thing that would randomly lower throughout the night for some reason and always look good in ways I can't justify. Can we talk about a good WrestleMania now, please? Number 8, WrestleMania X7, aka the classic. Not as tall as you remember, but it's still pretty damn excellent. The first big WrestleMania stage and the perfect complement to the biggest card in WWE history. When I was a wee lad staying up late to watch Mania, I genuinely thought the stage reached up to the clouds. It blew my socks out through my ears. Looking back, there are better stages, but there's no denying the timelessness of the design. The 2 giant screen pillars shooting straight up, none of the excess offshoot scaffolding that certain 2000s Manias will become obsessed with. The pillars would change color throughout the night, decorated in the very cool WrestleMania X7 lettering that didn't actually fit entirely on the pillars. You were attending WrestleMan. Oh dear. The 2 layered screens that wrestlers entered through, flashing up that looping graphic of those golden lines that transport you directly back to the Attitude Era and a better time. Like most aspects of the Attitude Era, it's not quite as good as you remember, but it's still pretty damn great, especially during The Rock's entrance in the main event. That's perfect lighting. I love it. Number 7, WrestleMania 25, aka the one with the typo. WrestleMania 25, aka the 24th anniversary of WrestleMania. I will let it go when I die and not before. Look at it, built bold as cocks in huge lettering, hanging over the entire show, mocking me, bastard. That being said, it's a really nice stage design, not one you hear people talk about all that much, maybe because it's a fairly middling Mania. Michaels Taker aside, it's got a performance from Kid Rock in it, for God's sake, which I'm pretty sure not even Kid Rock enjoyed. The slight busyness of the multi-layered screen pillars intercut with lighting rigs is offset by the ginormous star, and honestly, this will make me seem like just the biggest bougie polo shirt, but the diamond texture on the star really works for me. Striking, visually a really solid and clean composition when all taken together, and that star is proper affront to God massive, which is precisely as massive as a WrestleMania stage should be. Looks great during Ray's entrance, but the real gem is HBK's angelic descent, the huge panels of white and glowing white hearts surrounding him, gorgeous. Mania 32 star-based design, nowhere near as good. Number 6, WrestleMania 23, aka the really fucking big one. It's really fucking big. Mania 23 is something of an underrated Mania in the eyes of the fans, if not the eyes of the bank, because goddamn did 23 make some money. HBK Cena was great, Batista Taker was great, Great Khali vs. Kane was... It makes sense that for 5 years, Mania 23 was the highest selling WWE pay-per-view of all time, because everything about it reeked of ostentation, from the battle of the two tackiest rich twats to ever buy a gold toilet, to the stage which is as tall as you remember the Mania X7 set being, and then like twice as tall as that. The two pillars shooting out of the ground encircled by rings of lighting rig, the white curtains angled to give it a cool shape, the colossal screen, and the shafts of scaffolding that slice through the area above the ramp and ring. I'm not wild on those, especially when they obscure the main stage, but it's hard to argue against the sheer epic scale of everything. Look at Batista taking bloody ages to dad run around that stage. He's blown up before he even starts. That's how big this whole thing is. Number 5, WrestleMania 24, aka the really fucking big one. Hold my beer, says WrestleMania 24. So look, this is a weird design, and I can understand people not liking it because it essentially looks like a giant Hampton Inn or a 3-star hotel in the Costa del Sol. Also, it's sort of like the casino version of a giant middle finger, but guys, look, none of it matters because it's so motherfucking big, you guys. Seriously, it's so damn big that quantity becomes a quality all of itself. WrestleMania is all about grandeur, and what's more grandiose than a giant pillar with the WrestleMania letters on it punching into God's house? It looks majestic, lit all in gold during the Nature Boy's final official ring entrance in WWE, and it looks even better during Edge's entrance in the main event, every square inch of it bursting with fireworks and static. If the SmackDown Hotel looked half as good as the Mania 24 set, I would happily check myself in. Number 4, WrestleMania 26, aka the stupid one. Ah yes, what nonsense. Quite often WrestleMania stages are themed after the cities or states in which they take place. The huge star of Mania 25 is a reference to Texas as the Lone Star State, the huge palm trees surrounding the ring at Mania 28 in Miami, and the set of WrestleMania 36 was modeled after Orlando's famous WWE Performance Center. Mania 26 took place in Arizona, so it only made sense to honor that state's Mexican heritage with a ziggurat-style Aztec pyramid, with some experts claiming that Aztlan, the original land that birthed the Mexican people, was actually in ancient Arizona. Not sure if that's actually true, but it was good enough for WWE to build this huge structure, which is too big and very silly, but damn if it's not completely won me over the more I've seen it. The multiple steps, each with a squashed screen and fireworks positioned on top, that giant slab stuck right on the middle looking like the world's funnest and most dangerous looking slide, the massive pyramid canopy over the ring, it's really great, especially during HBK's final official entrance in the main event, because Crown Jewel 2018 never happened. Massive, silly, massively silly, much like WrestleMania itself. Watching Bret Hart tap out Vince McMahon with a giant Aztec temple in the background is a very silly thing, and a reminder why professional wrestling is the dumbest, best thing. Number 3, WrestleMania 30, aka the sex number. Lol, Triple X is the sex number. Well, it's the other sex number. I really hope I'm alive for WrestleMania 69. I'm reliably informed it'll be nice. Another absolutely colossal monster of a stage, this. Mania 30 is also proper gorgeous. The rich purple coloring throughout really works. The gigantic fleur-de-lis, a WrestleMania sign so big it could crush a hospital, and the 3 X's, which really could have undone the whole design, served to create the perfect entranceway for the wrestlers. Mania 30 was the final Mania to be officially numbered by the big dub, with all the others just called WrestleMania, like the sequel to a horror movie made decades earlier having the exact same name for no reason. And those 3 X's saw that era of Mania go out in grand style. The show turned out to be monumental for a number of reasons, and it was only appropriate that the stage was one of the best and most epic ever built. Also, it's very important to note that Mania 30's production managed to be epic without erecting giant pillars around the ring to block the eyesight for the poor sods on the arena floor. Bad luck, idiots. But for real, what is it about New Orleans and gorgeous Manias? Because number 2, WrestleMania 34, aka the colorful one. Gorgeous. Just beautiful. Not so much the Mardi Gras mask aspect of the design, which is eyes wide shut crossed with a court jester and stunning if only in its sheer scale, but it's just how colourful the whole thing is. The purple of Mania's last trip, Nola Way, is present and correct, but complemented by the Joker green writing. And I'm also normally a bit cold on excess scaffolding, but I love the crown of lighting rig pillars that plunge from the ceiling above the ring. For the longest time, WWE was obsessed with making all of its WrestleMania setups exist only in the blue end of the colour spectrum, spectrum, Mania 34 is possibly the most vibrant stage WWE have ever made. And it's not only a brilliant pairing for New Orleans' vibe of loud, colorful excess, but also it makes the show feel like a huge party that I want to be a part of. Love how they use the face mask throughout the show too. Seth Rollins' White Walker entrance rules, Charlotte's huge eyes are very fun and silly, the glowing demon's eyes for Brock. It's lots of fun, but perhaps not quite as fun as number one, WrestleMania 33, aka the best one. It's got a fucking roller coaster on it. Are you kidding? How could it be anything else? It's so beautiful. And it's not even the insane excess of having the loop lighting rig. It's the globe above the ramp, shimmering in blue and green with the WrestleMania writing over it. It looks so good. The golden steps underneath it, the flare tunnel of LED panels in the entranceway, the elevated ramp, the huge walls of color, the ridiculous giant ring above the ring that so many fans managed to convince themselves before the show that Shane McMahon was going to jump off, and the roller coaster. It's wow. Like, wow, WWE are absolutely backward in a lot of ways regarding their own product, but what they do better than every other wrestling game in town, yes, even New Japan and Wrestle Kingdom, is they put on the biggest, most flamboyant wrestling party of the year, every single year. It was an absolute privilege to be in the Camping World Stadium to see the Mania 33 stage in all its glory, until The Undertaker set it on fire because he was grumpy about losing to Roman Reigns, which is fair. And that's our list. Did we miss your favorite Mania stage? Let us know what it was in the comments. Don't forget to like and share this video around and subscribe to partsFUNknown for more very stupid wrestling content. Jam that jam.